Hey team, and welcome basketball fans. In this video, we're going to share with you the #1 secret to Shaquille O'Neal's humongous investing success.
So that was my greatest investment.
Virtually everyone knows Shaq as a massive basketball legend who retired in 2011 after a 19-year career in the NBA, and he won 4 championships.
But did you know that the Shaq invested in one particular asset every year of his NBA career after the advice he got from an 80-year-old wealthy man?
And I asked him, I said, how? And he taught me a word I never heard. You're in Shaq, you need to invest in it.
The asset was one that Shaq had never even heard about before. He didn't know the word, and he had to go look it up. Fortunately for you, we're here to tell you what that asset is today, right now.
Hello team, we hope you're all doing great. And if you are new here, we are John and Tara Thorman, your financial success coaches. And most of us are not taught what we really need to know about money, investing, and creating wealth. So we are here to help by teaching, training, and coaching you how to achieve financial freedom faster so you can enjoy it longer.
That's right. Are you ready? Okay, so we're going to tackle this topic right after you crush that like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to hit that bell icon as well so that you're notified every time we publish a training video. So Shaquille O'Neal, once the dominant force in basketball, is now becoming a dominant force in business and investing. At just 52 years old, he is already a future billionaire. That's right, his net worth is estimated to be over $500 million, and his annual income is right around $60 million. He's making more now than he ever did playing basketball. Sure, Shaq might be Superman, but he didn't start out that way, especially when it comes to being a good manager of his money.
So are you ready to tell one of Shaq's stories? It's a really great story.
Yeah, I am. I'm super excited to share this with you. So Shaq tells this story like this. He says he spent $1 million in 30 minutes. So he's taking a little liberty there, but it was definitely within the day.
Right.
He spent $1 million, okay? And here's what happened. I think it was his manager called him up and said, hey, that $1 million for the endorsement deal you did with the trading card company came through. And Shaq was like, awesome. And he always wanted a black-on-black Mercedes. So he went down to the dealership and bought it, and it was $150,000. So in Shaq's mind, he's thinking, okay, I got $1 million minus $150 for the Mercedes. I got $850 left. I'm good, right? So he goes home, and his dad says, hey, nice car.
Where's mine?
Where's mine? So he puts him in the car with him, and he goes back to the dealership, and he gets one for dad. I think it was the exact same, right? And then they come home only to find out that now mom is wanting a new car. So he goes back to the dealership and buys a third Benz. So they got 3 Benz, right? Which is awesome. But then Shaq rounds out the day by buying a bunch of jewelry and some tailored suits.
Yeah.
Okay? So the next day, the banker calls him up and says, Shaq, what are you doing? You just spent $1 million. That's
right.
And Shaq's like, no, I didn't. Shaq was a little bit clueless at this time, and he says, well, you got to pay FICA, and Shaq's like, FICA? Who's FICA? I don't owe any FICA. What are we giving him $200,000 for? And see how clueless he was? Like, he just didn't know yet, right? And so the manager says to him, look, Shaq, you got taxes to pay, okay? There's federal taxes, state taxes, local taxes. You got taxes to pay, so you don't have $1 million. And then he goes on to tell him, it's like, Shaq, you need to understand that most professional basketball players, like about 65%, are broke within 5 years of retiring from the NBA. I don't want that to happen to you. You got to shape up and start being a better manager of your money.
Wow.
So that call from the bank manager was the wake-up call that Shaq needed to get him on the straight and narrow and start doing the right thing with his money and start making wise decisions and do some financial planning. And actually start planning for his future, right? Getting that financial education became a priority for Shaq. And getting an education has remained a priority for Shaq throughout his lifetime. And actually, he went back to school in 2005. He got a master's degree in business. He continued. And in 2012, he got a PhD in education. So it's actually Dr. Shaq. Thank you very much. So Shaq learned about money management and investing early on in his career. But schools do not teach us about money, right? And how to invest and how to create wealth. And that's why everybody should work with a financial coach like us. We'll work with you to create your very own financial game plan, complete with offense, defense, and special teams. Schedule a free 30-minute discovery call with Coach so that we can show you what it's all about and see if you qualify to work with us as your coach. So after Shaq's early wake-up call from the bank manager, he hired an accountant to help him keep track of his money and his business ventures. And this is interesting. I love learning about Shaq for this video. What a great guy. One of his first business investments was a coin-operated car wash. He didn't know what to do with all the coins, so he just took them home and he left all the coins in his house. And this is so funny because his accountant one day is doing all his financial reporting or whatever, and he freaks out. He realizes Shaq's missing $250,000, right? So he freaks out. He calls Shaq and says, "What happened?" And Shaq goes, "Oh, I got all the coins loose here in the garage." What? Yeah. So he's grown a lot since those early days. And now Shaq has a knack for business and making money. Shaq tells this great story about how he learned about Google and became an investor early on, like in 1999. I think that's about 5 years or so before Google went public. So he was pre-IPO, like way early in the day. And he invested $250,000 in Google way back then, and that has made him an enormous fortune. Listen to him tell the story.
But you didn't do so bad on Google. What happened with Google?
So I'm in the Four Seasons Hotel, and I'm playing with somebody's kids, and they're in the meeting. So I'm playing with the kids at the next table. And, the guy, I'm actually babysitting the guy's kids while he's in the meeting. So after the meeting, he says, "You know what? You're good with kids. I like you. I'm going to bring you in on this investment." And it was called Google. He said, in the future, you're going to be able to type on your phone, search engine this, do this, boom, boom, boom. You should invest. I invested, and then a couple of years later, I got a really big return.
Yes, you did.
Really
are you out of it now, or are you still in it?
No, I'm still in it.
Good for you.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
So Shaq's invested in other startup investments like Ring, and that's a cool story too, and Lyft and Uber. He's got stock investments in the public stock market with Apple, and he also was an investor in Vitamin Water. But that's not all. Shaq has got investments in privately owned businesses, in privately owned real estate. I think he's got even like 5 houses right now and about 40 cars. And it's okay, the guy's worth $500 million. He can do that. But he sold his name, image, and likeness to Authentic Brand Group and took part of that money and reinvested it back in the company. He's the number 2 private shareholder of Authentic Brand Group. Okay. Shaq owns a lot. Like, it's crazy trying to keep track of all of his investments and deals and all this kind of stuff. Right now, I think he owns 150 car washes, and he owns about 40 24-hour fitness gyms and a movie theater in Newark, New Jersey. But he's a big-time owner of fast food franchises. And he even started his own chicken joint, right? It's called Big Chicken, which is kind of appropriate. And he started that in 2018 as a partnership, a joint venture deal with JRS Hospitality and his Authentic Brand Group company. They're franchising that thing nationwide right now and are growing really fast. He's got 9 Papa John's franchises in and around the Atlanta area. And there's a whole cool story about how all that deal went down and the creative deal making he did with Papa John's to get cash, to get stock, to get a royalty incentive on the Shaq-a-roni, the super big pepperoni pizza.
Okay.
Yeah, he gets like 20 cents a pizza for people that order the Shaq-a-roni. Anyway, super cool. You can check that out.
At Papa John's, the Shaq-a-roni is back. It's our extra biggie, ultra foldy, super pepperoni pizza. The biggest of the big, with more cheese, more pepperoni, and more Shaq. Get the Shaq-a-roni for $12.99.
He owns a Krispy Kreme in Atlanta. He did at one time own 155 Five Guys franchises. He bought and sold that, and he bought and sold 17 Auntie Anne's pretzel joints. But so many great stories for Shaq as an investor and a business owner, and having a diverse portfolio, diverse asset allocation. And really that's kind of the lesson here that I got from Shaq is surround yourself with good people, smart people, and to invest in multiple asset classes, right? He does not follow the conventional Wall Street asset allocation model of stocks, bonds, and cash, right? He's buying a lot of privately owned businesses, privately owned real estate, and franchises, privately owned. Shaq has a very conscientious asset allocation model. He's not following convention. Shaq buys alternative investments as well. And I want you to hear a story because he says himself that this alternative asset is his greatest investment.
I used to see this rich guy, really rich, older, 80, old Rolls Royce, and I asked him, I said, how? And he taught me a word I never heard. Yeah, Shaq, you need to invest in an annuity. And I never knew what it was. And I looked it up because I was making so much money from commercials and all, I didn't know what to do with it. And he's like, yeah, all this money you're making, if you put it away, you can invest it and you can start collecting at 50, 60, and 70. So that was my greatest investment.
So Shaq's greatest investment is found in an alternative asset class called annuities. O'Neill revealed that every year he was in the MBA, he invested in annuities. And when discussing his investment portfolio, he also said, now, if I lose every dime tomorrow, I won't care. My family and I are already set for life. I don't even work for money anymore. I work for fun.
So I believe annuities are his greatest investment because it gave him a firm foundation to build and grow upon. It gave him the financial security and the financial peace of mind to go out and to be concentrated in his investments and take on greater amounts of risk.
So what is an annuity and why does Shaq love him so much?
So in its simplest terms, an annuity is a savings account with an insurance company. Instead of a savings account at a bank or credit union, you're saving your money with an insurance company.
Right.
Now, there's a bunch of different kinds of annuities, though, okay? Some work just like bank CDs, where you get a fixed interest rate for a specific period of time. But they come with a bunch of extra bonuses that you won't ever get with a CD. You get tax-deferred growth on as much money as you want to put in there. And you also get some legal protections in just about every state in the country. There's legal protections that protect your money from creditors and predators. So your money is protected in the case of a lawsuit. Some annuities are used as long-term accumulation accounts that are then converted into income, right? When you get to retirement, you've got a nest egg, you've got assets, you've got a balance in your 401k, but that's no good. You have to convert that into cash flow. You need play checks, right? You need money every month so you can go play and live out your best retirement. Enjoy your financial freedom. We call that pensionizing your money. And that's what an annuity will do. It gives you your own private pension or your own personal pension. Right. So you build up this nest egg and you pensionize it, you turn it into play checks. And when you do that, it's guaranteed income for the rest of your life. You never have to worry about running out of money. Right. So Shaq knows his future is secure. The financial guarantees he gets from annuities gives him the confidence to go out and invest in other, more aggressive assets.
Shaq said, I can retire from anything, anytime.
Right, so even though he made big plays by investing in companies like Google, Shaq credits annuities as his most reliable investment. He says it wasn't about fast profits or making big money. He said it was about ensuring stability for me and my family. That's what annuities do. They are a game changer. They're a completely separate asset class that's not correlated to the stock market, gives you that financial peace of mind, the financial security, so you can sleep well at night and enjoy your financial freedom. So we want to encourage you, add some annuities to your portfolio. Get that new asset class and get that diversification. Reach out to us, book a free time, the free discovery call on my calendar, and we'll take a look at it with you and help you design the retirement portfolio of your dreams. See you on the next video.